Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final episode here on the Mega Farm. My name is Simulation for the Nation. As always, I hope you are doing very, very well. You join us here in Chellington Valley, and unlike normal services, the yard is practically empty. There's a trailer over there that we're waiting to be picked up on. There's a few pallets of seed around the place, but there isn't a sound to be heard. There's not a machine running, there's no tractors parked up there, and crucially there are no animals either. Everything is gone. Where have they gone, I hear you ask? Well, field 118 is where pretty much everything is. We're having a farm sale, folks. We are going out in a big one. So we're going to just take one of the trucks. We're keeping these. We need something to drive around on after all. So let's go and just have a bit of a drive, shall we? We're going to go and have a look at what everything looks like from around about, I'd say about a year of hard work, really. 2,300 hours worth of farming, all compiled up into one massive map. Now, as you can see there, we own everything on Chellington Valley there. Every single field we have bought. Life started out as two 10 million pound farms, and it became a bit of a rival between the two, and then we became one mega farm in between, and which, you know, had a significant amount of investment in there, but it grew and it grew and it grew. A lot of hard work from a lot of the dedicated members there who have joined the channel and really had a great amount of commitment to see this through there. So to each and every one of you who has partaken in this server in any capacity, a big thank you very much for making it quite so special, and I really look forward to doing the same thing again in FS22. But we figured the time was right. We're a week away, so we figured now was a great time to wrap up there. Everyone's starting to kind of just put FS19 down for a little bit and look towards FS22, and we'll be doing the very same. But just look at what we have here. We're going to take a bit of a drive through our field of fantastic machines. So as you can see, we've got everything laid out here. We've got our slurry spreaders, we've got 3 muck spreaders there. We started with smaller spreaders and then we've got the huge Rollins there. They've done so much work between them. Absolutely the heroes, actually, I think, really, when it comes to precision farming. We've got a fit spreader we didn't get to use too much in the end because we went for liquid fertilizer, or it was muck and lime there. So that's where a lot of that use went to. We have got an awful lot of animal equipment here. So we've got our water tankers and then our milk tankers before we start to get it hauled away. And then our feeders, of which is 1 better and then 1 Keenan, 2 massive rabbit feeders as well. We could probably nearly had more there, to be honest. Grain chaser bin came in last series to keep the 2, or last season to keep the 2 trucks going with their trailers. A cattle trailer, a load loader, a milk tanker, and then another bulker as well. And then we get into the self-propelled. Big M mower came in last season there. We upgraded our forager as well to a Chrome Big X, I think it is. And then we got 2 John Deeres, the S680 and the X9, which was just incredible for the last season there. Really allowed us to fly through, well, pretty much everything there, to be honest. We're just going to creep on through here, past the butterfly mowers on our right, past 2 forage wagons as well, and our 2 Big X or Big Pack Crone balers, which just look absolutely meaty there. They really do. The amount of balers they'll have on them as well is quite impressive there. And of course, we've got our rakes, we've got our tedders as well, always much needed. Bale wrappers, silage packers, 2 heath chasers there. They've got some work, as you can see. I love that. Tell which one, have a little glance through which one do you think is newer. Look at those. This one has been pounded away. The paint's almost off in some places, so this has still had a lot of work to it though. They really do allow you to speed through an operation. They're very, very cool. And then we'll jump back in, and then we have our trailers. We start life with Bailey trailers. I love these Bailey trailers. Do very, very well for us there. I got a couple of Stewarts in there in the end as well. And then nothing against those, actually. Quite like them. I think I still preferred the Baileys more. But let me know. A couple of Brocken Bale trailers there. Some Rolling Round trailers. Some old Marston trailers. And some Johnston brother trailers there as well. And plenty of carting around of everything to do, really. Over there you got your weight, and you got a few front loader or front linkage adapters as well, and bale deflectors. We'll get to our loads in just a little bit there, and then you're into the heavy cultivation equipment there. Look at that for subsoiler. That was a recent arrival for our quad track last season. Mightily impressive there. You got one of our last remaining plow. We went from having 3 plows at one point And then we moved up to the one semi-mounted there, because we've also got that subsoiler as well. Got a couple of big rippers coming through, as well as the Vadi, and then a couple more single pass operations here as well. So all of which require quite a bit of power to lug them through the ground, these trains. And with power we have in spades, and yeah, we need them all to kind of give a nice seedbed preparation for all of these drills. I love driving through this list here. It just looks epic. I mean, look at this. This is our drilling setup there. You got one Vadi, and you got two massive horse air seeders there, which, I mean, what are they, like 12-meter working widths, I think they are? Heavens above, that's a lot of in one pass there. That is some output. Really, really is. And then, the bit that I love the most, just look at the tractor line up here. I'm going to get out and walk through this, really. I think it's the only thing I can do. We got bigger. We got really, really big. At one point in time, the biggest tractors we had were two Fendt 820s on the farm. Now they were a little over, I think, 260 horsepower, maybe even not that much, maybe 220. But wow, things have changed here. This big old beast arrived last season and was designed to do a lot of the heavy tillage, the heavy cultivation work, and to be fair to it, it did it fantastically well. Lovely machine to drive there, really is fantastic at just lugging up and down with the deep shanked ripper on there, or even the 12-meter cultivator. We've got the biggest fence, the biggest wheel tractors here, the 1046 and the 1042. Absolutely lovely tractors. I cannot wait for FS22 there to see what the 1000 series looks like, but these things have been phenomenal. Now, we've had Fendt all the way through there. We've had a bit of a rotation between Fendt and John Deere for the most part. And then there's a few smaller different tractors in there. Looking at you, Ryan. But we've got mainly Fendt here for now. Very impressed with these. The design and the modeling of the tractors themselves are really good. They're very smart tractor. Very nice and visually to sit in as well, which is something that I always like. This one here is mine. This is a 1042. Just a very nice cockpit to be in there. Very nice machine. A lot of power here as well. But I just love the look down that nose. And then when you start it up,
Willkommen in Ihrem Fendt.
never get tired of hearing that. Really don't. Yeah, like I say, a lot of good power in here. Now, before this, I had a 936 Fendt, which we traded in to get this one, but we got Fraser one as well, because he was doing a lot of land work, a lot of heavy cultivation work with it as well. So that is his 360 horsepower Fendt there as well. A lot of power there. Really impressive amount of power. Now, before we got rid of this 46, we did have an 8RX on the farm, which was a very impressive bit of equipment. Really was. Driver Martin figured it was time to move back over to Fendt, and I think he made a really good call there. Very much like that. Yeah. And now this tractor here, this is the old 724. This has the most hours on the clock of any Fendt or any tractor in total on the server. This tractor has 430 hours on it. Now, we've had some that have been over 200 hours before. We've had some that are well over 100 hours as well. But Josh was driving this one. He hasn't even been on the server for the last couple of months there for various different reasons. Just not being able to have the access to the computer following a house move being a primary reason. And he managed to still rack up 400 hours. Josh, you were fantastic on here. Thank you very much for coming on to the server and investing so much time, particularly when we were split into two different farms there. You and Ryan, amongst others, were really fantastic at marshalling Farm 2 in the south there. But a really nice workhorse tractor. It hasn't done too much recently. It's had almost a gentle retirement. But yeah, it is an absolute workhorse, that's for sure. We've got a fleet of 824 Fendt Variors and Black Beauty. Now, these were the communal tractors, really, for anyone who jumped on and off occasionally and didn't have their own. Lovely tractor. A great workhorse, actually. I really like this tractor just to drive around it. I must admit, I thought it was very nice. Again, another nice cockpit to be in there. Sounded great, handled very well. Looks the part in Black Beauty colors. It really does. I think that's fantastic. And then we move to the different shade of green. We move across, of course, to John Deere in the green and yellow. We've got an 8345 that belongs to Mr. Derp. He didn't get as many hours on this as he liked there, but still beautiful looking machine, that's for sure. In fact, I think, Derp, I put more hours onto this than you may have, but that is all good. We've got a couple of 7Rs. Now, one of these belongs to Pollison. The other one I do believe belongs to Drew. And yeah, really nice looking machines there. A couple of good staples. These tractors have the great sounds to them. The sound pack on this John Deere is very good. I love the 2020 styling though, with the mirrors on there. I think that looks very nice indeed. And it's yeah, it's the all-round a very good tractor to sit in, good tractor to work in as well. Sounds good. Good amount of power in that in this range of 7Rs for the size of them. Not quite as big as the 8R there at all, or even some of the larger fence, but still covers most of the jobs in the yard. We've got a 6R as well, which belonged to another Drew, and that was another good strong workhorse there. I got many hours in there. I could have washed it down for him soon, but never mind. Got a light washing over is all. But yeah, I love the shape of the 6R there. I think that's a very nice looking tractor actually. Very, very good. And then you got the two old workhorses, the 6810s. Now the 6810s were our feeder tractors really. They started life as fleet tractors there, but they slowly gravitated and became the main yard animal feeder tractors. These guys would be stuck on the Robert feeders, one at Chellington Valley there, and the other one was doing its rounds but predominantly stayed up at Valley View, and they did a great job up there actually. Pulled those feeders around like it was nothing, did everything we needed to do. And now Ryan loves the Vulture almost as much as he loves the McCormick, but that's not possible just yet. Lovely Vulture actually here. He's put some hours on it. Let's have a look at what those hours are looking like. I mean, it is a Vulture. It does stick out a bit. Only 70 hours, Ryan. Ooh, it's because you prefer the fence and the John Deere's really, isn't it? But yeah, again, another strong workhorse. Did have a front loader bracket as well. We've sold off all the front loaders already. But yeah, nice looking tractor actually. Different color, it'd look even better, but that is Ryan's machine. That's what he wanted. And then we had a Massey. Of course you gotta have a Massey on the yard there. This is a 6616. This was the yard tractor down at Autumn Wood. Did a great job again, just on the feeder, having a front loader when it needed to be on there, and just doing general yard jobs. Again, I like this Massey an awful lot, but not as much as these two. These were the tractors that had the yard brush on. Now we had one of these over at Valley View, and one of them here at Chellington Valley. And they were fantastic. I love them. All they did was have the brush on the back, and all they did was start up and tidy up the troughs and make sure everything was looking good. And I wouldn't have had anything else. I think they're just ideal for the job, really. Very nice looking tractor. They're very well modeled. Let's see what the hours are like. Considering that's all of them. That's I've got 18 hours on it. And that one's at 10. And considering all, like I say, all they did was brush up and down the trough. That's not bad going, I would say. Not bad at all. And then perhaps we talk about a lot of workhorses over here, but I think really this is where you really get some of the workload. These loaders are used daily. These loaders are used many times daily across all manner of different jobs. They're feeding up, they're clearing up, they're mucking out, they're loading bales, they're loading seed drills, they're loading anything you can imagine. Forestry work at one point as well. That was interesting. But these, yeah, they've all done well. Some of them are more looked after than others. Looking at the Massey here, and that JCB could do with a lick of paint, but the rest of them are all looking good. There's a Manitou here somewhere. Is it this one? 255 hours on the clock there. Incredible. This one here is 234. You can see which loader's really got a big workhorse or a big piece of the pie there. This guy here, this Massey, this was at Valley View. That's at 185 or 85 hours. We struggled to begin with to find the right loader for us up at Valley View there. We settled on the Massey eventually because it was compact and you could get in and out of everywhere we needed to without any problems. A couple of JCBs came along later on in life. The 420 TMs as well, 33 hours. These did a lot of work around BGAs, did a lot of loading up there, 48 hours as well. And then we decided, you know what, time's right. Farm 2 originally bought this. This was the 435 for a lot. They were doing a lot more silage when we started up there. So they really went big, and it looks incredible. It really, really does. 97 hours on it for just the loader there. I think that just shows a testament of the work that they're required to do, really. And then we've got a whole load of different buckets and adapters and various different forks along the side there. So that's it. That is the Mega Farms equipment lineup. This is an incredible amount of equipment there. As you can see, money has got to the point right now where we're financially in a fantastic place. We've thought about how we would bring that across to the new series and what that may look like, but honestly, we may well end up, it wouldn't be much of a challenge. I think we may well end up just starting off with something a little bit smaller, possibly, you know, looking at some of the more established, let's say, classic equipment that we've come to know is in there. So we'll have to wait and see. But what we do need to do is sell everything. We still haven't sold a single field off yet. Now that is going to require quite a bit of work. We're gonna have to sell all of this off as well there. So what I'd love for you to do is put in chat right now what you think the grand total is gonna be for this farm and for this project. We're currently sitting in at 14.476 million. So nearly 14.5 million pounds. And I haven't sold anything yet. We're gonna get onto that in just a second. So start the clock. Put your guesses in, chat and comment right now what you think the final amount will be there, and I am going to get everything sold up. We'll see what it looks like. We'll come back to you in just a minute. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we've sold almost everything. The only things we couldn't sell were a few of the main farmyards that still have a couple of placeables down, like the Chellington farm there and a few others. But we're at 39,534,696 pounds. So we've pretty much doubled our investment there. 20 million across a year is staggering, frankly. Really staggering. And I think it's a perfect place to leave it, really. We have put in so much work into the series there, and again, why are you still there? You should probably be sold. I would like to say a big thank you to everybody who has partaken in the server, who has come along, watch the streams, watch the videos for it as well. It's been an absolute blast. It really has. We will be coming back with another dedicated server there with some more antics and more fun throughout the course of FS22. Just gotta find the good one, really. Find the perfect maps to fit in there. There'll be a few small things going whilst we get ourselves acclimatized with 22 there. I have no doubt. But until that time, we'll leave it here. So thank you ever so much for watching as always. And we'll see you in about 2 weeks time where we'll be unpacking FS22 and going live. So I'll see you then. Until next time, I've been Simulation for the Nation. Do hope you have enjoyed. Thank you ever so much for watching as always. We'll see you in the next one.